guys, it's Petrina Hamm here, your go-to girl for learning how to make fit work in a crazy busy world. And it is a beautiful day here in North Carolina. And you know what I'm going to be doing? Meal prep Sunday. It's my Sunday ritual. I am going hardcore with the nutrition, doing 21-day fix meals. This is the shirt I earned for completing the program. I'm getting back on track after veering a little bit more than slightly off because of our cruise and then the aftermath of that. So I'm getting back on track, and I'm going to show you, give you a peek into my kitchen so that you can know what I do on Sundays to make sure that I make healthy choices all week long. Come on, let's go in the kitchen. Welcome to my kitchen. This is the stuff that I will be using to prep my meals for the upcoming week. Well, at least some of the staples of the meals. As you can see, I've got chicken breast here. I tenderized it ahead of time. I topped it with Southwestern, the Spicy Southwestern seasoning that's in the 21-day fix meal plan. I'm not drizzling it with oil as the recipe has included, just because I prefer to use my teaspoons for almond butter and other stuff, and I find I don't really need the oil for cooking my chicken, so I don't. But I do spray the pan with coconut oil spray. I have my eggs that I'm going to boil. My short grain rice. I love this stuff. If you're someone who hates brown rice, you will probably wind up actually loving it if you try this particular brand and kind. It's very good. What I do is I mix it with black beans as a carb allowance for usually like a lunchtime meal or something. I've got a couple of sweet potatoes that I'm going to dice ahead of time and then pop in the fridge and roast when I need them for nighttime dinners. I've also got stuff for my Dijon Vinaigrette that I'll be making, and that has red wine vinegar, olive oil, pepper, lemon juice, garlic, Dijon mustard, and Himalayan salt. So these are the key ingredients for how I'm going to get ready for most of my meals during the week. Alright, so while the oven's been preheating to 375, I've gotten my eggs in a big pot to boil, and I have put my rice together. I used a cup of the dry rice, 1 3/4 cups of water, and unlike the package directions, I only used 2 teaspoons of oil in the mix, and that will probably wind up being half a teaspoon of oil, if that, so that'll count as half of a teaspoon when you're having your rice. And I'm going to take the chicken now, and I'm going to pop that in the oven for probably about 25 minutes. And while that is cooking and the rice is cooking and the eggs are cooking, I'm going to start making my dressing and chop up my sweet potato. Ta-da! 1 hour later, I am done. I have fixed a good chunk of the lean proteins that I'll be eating this week, as well as some grain and carb options. I have enough. This will probably be 10 to 12 servings of red for 21-day fix, which is good. So if I eat chicken twice a day, I'm in pretty good shape for most of the week. I have a lot of sweet potatoes cubed, and this is because my husband loves these as much as I do. I make the roasted sweet potato bites with a kick, and you can find the recipe. I'm gonna put a link up there, and you can see my YouTube video on that. I've got 1 dozen lovely eggs, all boiled and ready for breakfast. I've got my salad dressing, which I have this cool container I don't remember where I got it. I think it was another network marketing company that a friend of mine, I'm trying to see if there's an identifier. I don't remember where I got it, but it's really cool. I put it in there with like one of those little, I think, colander kind of things to get it in. It will give me about 8 servings, so this is good for the week, which is good. It fills the orange container up, and it really livens up my salad. That's something that I don't pre-prepare, although you have the option if you wanted to. Like, I love these tomatoes. They are Heavenly brand, and they live up to the name. I find them at Earth Fare, and I dice them right before I'm going to have my salad. If you are someone who's super time crunch, you can dice them ahead of time, or any other vegetables that you want on your salad, or if you want to, munch on vegetables and hummus, you can have that as a quick option. And I make my salads with half and half, just in case you're curious, and either alfalfa or Brussels sprouts. I'll put that on, top it with the dressing. Sometimes I'll top it with diced chicken that's already been made. That comes in super handy for that. I have my rice all made. I usually mix it with black beans, and that yields a carb serving if you measure it out. So, you know, this is not by any means a full representation of what I'm going to eat this week, but it does give me some really great quick grab and go or fix or reheat options, which is super convenient. I love 21 Day Fix for that purpose. Everything is pretty simple. You can go through the meal plan guide and just pick out the foods that you know that you like, that you find tasty. You can make quinoa as a grain option. You can have whole grain breads on hand, you know. Try to pick from up on top of the list as much as you can, but it's totally okay to pull from the bottom when and if you need it. And of course, I will be having a Shakeology each day. My favorite flavor right now is vegan tropical strawberry. And I'm going to enjoy this bad boy, Barney's new almond butter, cocoa, and coconut flavor. I'm very excited to try this. I'm going to add it to my shake along with frozen raspberries or frozen cherries. So that's a fun and exciting new adventure I'll be taking this week with my Shakeology. That's it. As always, if you have any questions, you can email me at coachpetrina@yahoo.com. If you'd like to get free fitness coaching from me, you can sign up at makefitwork.com. And that's it. I love 21 Day Fix. I love the simplicity of it. It is, you know, it's not easy to eat clean, but this makes it as simple to follow as possible. I love the color-coded containers. I'm excited to get back at it. I'm going to be drinking a lot of water, which I have not been doing, embarrassingly enough, and I've definitely been feeling it. So that's it. This is how you can get your week off on the right track. If you know that you have foods that are healthy and good for you that you can just grab and go, it makes it a lot easier to stick to a clean eating plan. That's my best tip for anybody out there, regardless of whether you're doing 21 Day Fix or any other program. Plan out your meals and get quick grab and go options. That's it. Take care and have a great day. Bye-bye.